Hello everyone, and welcome back to All the Mods 10. We're playing back on the Lost Character server. As you can tell, I fixed my full screen. I was looking back at the last recording and realized that I was not in full screen for a good portion of the last episode. Which, whoopsie, you can see what day I recorded it. Oh no, time gate, time, blah, blah, blah. What was it called? Time gating, time something. I don't know what it's called, but yeah, dating my videos, I guess, in a way. Which um, I'm hoping to get I'm hoping to get the last one up like literally the next day, so I'm not too worried about that one. But I think how videos are gonna be spaced. I guess we'll go back to like last year. I used to be a full stack web developer. Which, if anyone's familiar with maybe what that means, basically I can do web development, but I can do both front end and back end. A lot of websites store information. I know how to utilize SQL technology to store things in databases. Basically, what that amounts to, and I can build web pages and that have relatively nice looking user interfaces. Granted, with pedestals, you would never be able to tell because I don't do UI with pedestals. But part of that reason why is because I've been a web designer for so long, I just can't be bothered to do UI for something else. Mainly, that's my excuse, yes. I'm looking for a glyph of amplify. That one. Scribes table. Okay, that's not too hard. But yeah, so going back to work. Boom, 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 boom. Sorry. So back about a year ago or so. Okay, that is a little annoying. Did I really click the side of that? No, I didn't. I did click the front. Okay. Yeah, going back about a year ago, we got a notification from our security department that basically said, "Hey, you guys are internally, basically, if someone can get into our building and use a computer within our building, these are the security flaws of your group's applications. Basically, what applications could be accessed, why they thought this was bad, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Obviously, having security vulnerabilities, if someone does infiltrate the building, it can be a pretty bad thing, as you would probably imagine. Granted, none of these are accessible from outside the company. We actually got really lucky on that aspect because if anything was accessible from like the World Wide Web, that'd be a hell of a bad thing. But no, we got really lucky. Nothing was accessible without actually getting someone into the building and onto a computer within the building. So, good for us, I guess, for having some security. But nonetheless, they're like, hey, you need to get everything resecured up to certain standards. Basically, none of your developers should be able to access any super high level things without different restrictions, blah, 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 blah. Because we had developers that, like, basically they could access and shut down the whole department's applications and everything from their workstation remotely. And they're like, this is bad. We need to stop giving up, big admin permissions like this. And so that was part of the whole securing structuring thing that they've done. So a lot of us are using remote connection stuff now. And there's basically no way for someone to shut down our entire operations anymore without going through multiple steps and probably getting caught by someone before they even make it to kind of their end goal, if you will. So that is the main reason why a lot of things got restructured, but not everything. And so with this restructuring of not only were they restructuring whatchamacallits, not only were they restructuring kind of how things worked, they were also restructuring jobs. So we went from a system where we had entry level developers, senior developers, and then managers. Effectively, is how that was working. And our managers were effectively like managers, like not project managers necessarily, but like like overall managers basically. So most of the time in the broader development community, you have entry level. You have a level above entry level that's like you've been proficient at entry level stuff. You have a little bit more responsibilities now. And then you have a level above that, which is like an intermediate level. And then you have a senior developer. So you have like 4 stages between entry level and senior developer. Whereas our company had 2. And then for the management side of things, there's like project manager, and then there's like applications manager, and there's like all these different levels of managers for projects and stuff. And so, um, and then on top of that, there's your actual managers that aren't really project managers, but they're just managing people and the things that go on and kind of the politics of the company and the corporate manager types of thing. And that's kind of where I was at. Is I was in a transitionary phase between I'm a developer currently, but I want to be a like higher level corporate manager. So that was kind of what I was working on. And the corporate manager deals with more like meetings and hosting meetings and training people and stuff like that. So this last year or so, I've been doing a lot of that within my company, more so than before, basically. But yeah, this is the whole restructuring. So we actually got restructured into um, a whole new system, and they finally did the last set of their restructuring for that system, and they decided that okay, all of our entry level web developers specialists, um, we're getting rid of that role, and so we only have developers basically. And because I was transitioning from a developer to a manager, I did not fit into that role, and I got pushed out. Now they gave me a little severance package that kind of sets me up to the end of the year. Granted, I have a lot of medical bills this time of year, so I've kind of blown through a lot of that money already. I still have 2.5 months worth of um, expenses or money, I guess, technically, that I can work with. And like medical bill wise, most of my medical bills should be covered. I have an HSA account, which is mainly like a medical health savings account, and that has like $5,000 in there or something that I've put in there, because A, I can write it off at the end of the year for taxes, and then B, it's just nice to have that assurance that you have, some extra money somewhere that can be used for medical expenses, because you never know when something medically related might come up, might, might be bad that it might happen or something. So it's definitely good to have. How does this work? I don't know how this works. But yeah, so I'm doing okay for the end of the year. I'm definitely looking for jobs right now because I need a job so I can keep that, you know, the extra money that I currently have. I want to keep that as like a backup, if you will. Still, I also signed an agreement with this company where I can't work for a similar company for 6 months and I can't work for them for a year. So I went from like a corporate developer position, and because I didn't because I didn't get another corporate job or another manager job immediately within like a month of working for them, I've had to sign an agreement that said I won't, no, a non-compete agreement basically for 6 months, and then I won't work as an hourly person for this company. I can't apply for an hourly job for a whole year basically. So until like next September, I can't work for this company again. And honestly, I don't know if I'd want to, because I've seen from the top down that how they're restructuring things, and also they've restructured their operations managers as well, and they're kind of getting rid of a lot of the manager bloat because this company struggles with hourly people become managers. Managers manage for a while, get tired of it, and then go and find themselves their own, make a job is what people call it in our company. But they make their own job within the company that basically gets them till they retire. And so the company's cutting out a lot of these made-up jobs, if you will, cutting out a lot of these specialist jobs because specialist jobs are kind of a made-up job in a lot of times. And so they're getting rid of a lot of these positions, basically. So that's why my job got cut, is they were cutting specialist jobs in lieu of the official restructured ones. So, but yeah, anyways, when they did all this restructuring, I don't even know managers in my own area anymore. They've all been either let go or they've quit because their structure changed in a way where they didn't feel like they would be worth basically, like one manager was telling me, basically his path to promotion got cut off, and he'd been with the company for 15 years as an operations manager, and just didn't feel like it was worth staying anymore, and he left. And I feel like a lot of people have probably done this way, because, like I said, of all the managers I used to know within the last 5 years, even within the last 6 months that they were at this company, they're gone already, been replaced. So it's crazy to see how much restructuring has gone on, um, and how it's affected everything basically. So sorry, I have to read this real quick. Crafting glyphs use a spell book on the table to open the codex. Each spell book on the table. Oh, wait, what? Oh, right. Amplify. Sweet. Okay. Um, God, that's a little confusing, but that's cool. Okay. Anywho, um, I am very curious as to what level I need to break obsidian. Ah, perfect. That's actually not bad at all. Yeah, so a lot of restructuring has gone on with this company, and I don't even feel like I'd go work for them, even as an hourly, because from the hourly side of things, I've talked to some hourly employees, and they're aware things are happening as well. Like they're definitely fearful. There's been layoffs. Basically, a lot of this has come out because, like, during COVID, they hired a bunch of people. Our location used to serve, um, um, for full time hourly employees, used to have, I think, when I was dispatching and managing, um, we went from basically 20 full timers to like 30 full timers in a 5 year period, just because of growth, mainly due to other companies growing, and then because they can't handle their growth, they were relying on existing infrastructure basically, and we were the existing infrastructure that they were relying on. And now that they've ramped up their infrastructure, they no longer need us, is effectively what's happened, and it's really killing our profits effectively. And so they're starting to cut back on hours for hourlies. They actually hired in the peak during COVID. They hired up to, I think, like 35 employees. So now they have effectively what could be 15 extra employees, or maybe 10 extra employees. They really don't need anymore. But they can't really fire them because they're union employees as well. So instead, they're firing managers and getting rid of managers that were full timers, and getting pensions, and getting um, um, basically stock incentives and stuff. And they're getting rid of those positions in lieu of basically crappier paid positions, or crappier compensated positions. I think pensions is the big one, because, like, I've only been in this company 10 years, and even I was part of the group of folks that was grandfathered into the old pension system. Granted, my pension is like $300 a month. Um, had I been able to take it, that is. But yeah, so a lot of these people were pension people, um, and the company's been trying to get rid of pensions for a while, and this was their chance to restructure and get rid of pensions effectively. So yeah, there's definitely some fun stuff going on with that side of things, but and that's mainly the reason why I don't feel like I'd even want to work for this company anymore. Just because there's a lot of things going on that I don't see a big future with this company. Um, when I first worked for them, obviously there was all sorts of opportunities to grow with the company, and I don't feel like those opportunities exist as easy as they were before. It's definitely going to be a lot harder to get a nice, cushy position with this company going forward. And those who are already in nice, cushy positions, because of all the layoffs and restructuring, so to speak, that's been going on, they're also concerned for their jobs and if they're going to lose their pensions before they hit early retirement age, which in our company is like 55. Um, I actually have a direct project manager, that you could tell in his voice when we were chatting about my termination, that he was definitely worried for his job, because he's like 2 years from early retirement, And because they said, "Oh, you're not like for me," because I was way too young for early retirement. We're talking, I'm like 31. Because I'm way under early retirement age, they said, "No, you don't get your early retirement pension. You only get it paid out. You just, shut the fuck up and go away. Basically, you don't get this money at all." And so my project manager boss, who's like 2.5 years away from this, he's worried like hell because 2 years is a long time when you potentially have a target on your back as a pension person. And someone with probably a pretty nice pension because he's been with the company for 30 plus years at this point. So, or has it been 30 years? At least 25 years for sure. Because maybe 20 years for sure. Anyways, but still, like he has a nice pension that's definitely scared that he's gonna lose it. So, but yeah, so definitely scary times going on at the job that I no longer have. Oh man, yeah, it's crazy, crazy stuff going on. So yeah, I got let go due to restructuring. Corporate companies are bad. I mean, uh, it's hard because I used to be like, oh yeah, corporate companies are great. They treat us. And this company, the way they do healthcare, and the reason why I thought they were so nice is the way that they do healthcare is everyone in the company gets healthcare. Union employees all get free healthcare. So kind of like universal healthcare within the company is what it amounts to. Managers did have to pay some, but we're talking like $400 a month, and that's the 90/10 deductible. That's 90/10 insurance with a $500 deductible, I think, or $1,000 deductible. No, it's 500 for a single, 1,000 for couples. What it amounted to, and that's really freaking good for 400 a month. If you want to pay 120 a month, you get 60, no 70/30 insurance, which is what I currently have, and why I'm able to have an HSA card. Is basically all the money I would have spent on healthcare, I put in an HSA, about 100 a month or 100 a week is what I was doing. And the rest of that money goes to pay my dividend, which not dividend deductible, which deductibles are kind of a scam, but that's a story for another day. But anyways, yeah, that's how I was doing my healthcare. Is the company gives universal healthcare to all their union employees, but and hourly employees, but their managers have to pay in a little bit. But it's still nice to know that like when someone's sick, they're pretty much taken care of. Like you know that they make enough money, or their healthcare is good enough at the company that they're probably not worried about, you know, not getting the right healthcare. And that is a nice sentiment to have. And I thought this company was great because they did this. But yeah, I definitely think otherwise. Corporations kind of suck. They really don't care about the little guy, which is kind of sad. But yeah, as long as it pads their pocketbooks and increases their stock price, they don't care about us, which is sad. Again, because this company is another one of those weird companies that other than our before Reconstruction, other than the like weird structuring they had to their organizational structure, um, they were very much a company of like the web developer position I have. Um, they trained me for that, like straight up. Like, granted, I had programming experience already, so they're like, "Oh yeah, this guy will be fine." But a lot of my colleagues, they had zero programming experience, and came into this job and got fully trained within basically a year. Um, and that doesn't really happen anymore. A lot of companies want people with 5 years of experience, 10 years of experience, so on and so forth. And this company was one of those companies where they would train you to do the job. And I always thought, that was good as well, because not only companies do that, they all expect you to have experience. They're not willing to train you because training costs money, right? But this company, not only that, they give a education benefit as well. It's like a $25,000, which is basically good enough for like a 4-year degree at any community college. Definitely my 2-year degree that I got, even though my 2-year degree is pretty much worthless. It's helped me out getting promotions to stuff as well, so it's always good. And the degree always looks nice, even though it's not needed for working, but depending on what you do, right? As a web developer, Google's my Google's my teacher at this point, really. So, um, you know, education's not really needed for programming, but yeah. So I thought this company was a good company, but clearly they've had a bad stretch now that they're turning into every other corporation that kind of kicks out people that they think they are costing them money. So, yeah, that's my beef right now with corporations. If they're gonna act like crap, then they don't deserve my loyalty anymore. But yeah, so that's where I'm at. And so I've been struggling the last couple of months of just kind of depression, if you will, of I was loyal to this company, like super loyal to this company for like 10 years, and you just get thrown out with the bat, thrown out like bathwater, and feels bad, man. Feels bad. But no, I'm going through the hiring process. I have a resume made. They did give, like I said, a decent severance package. Technically, I probably could have got more, but they didn't really give me enough time to get a lawyer, which is shitty in its own way. They paid us enough that we wouldn't report them to the government, which is, again, another shitty thing, another shitty practice, but nothing we can do about that. Again, they also, when you sign the NDA, it comes with a clause that says you can't like take us to the government and you can't take us to court and shit. So I've waived rights for that at this point, which again probably bad on me for doing that. But again, they only gave us like a week before we got terminated. So yeah, definitely. If I would have been smarter, I would have got a lawyer and said, "Nah, fuck you guys." But they hung a nice fat severance check over my head, and someone that's been living paycheck to paycheck. Yeah, you just don't really have a lot of options there, unfortunately. But yeah, now that I'm a little bit better off right now, with the severance money, I've paid off most of my bad debt, paid off student loan debt of my wife and myself, so we're good there. And now I still have a few months left of money for expenses. My expenses basically went from like 3,000 a month, actually like 3,500 a month with all of the different loans and stuff, down to like 1,500 a month plus whatever food we want to eat and whatever other miscellaneous expenses we want. So 2,000 a month roughly. I live in a rural area, so our house is like 700 or something a month for mortgage. I probably could get a different insurance to make it cheaper because like the original price was like 550 a month, but insurance has gone up in the last 5 years, and yeah, it just costs a little bit more than it used to. But I could probably get a new insurance and probably get that reduced if I really really wanted to, and probably should because that would be another $200 in my pocket that I wouldn't have to spend on crappy house insurance. But yeah, so crazy stuff really. What else? Yeah, that's kind of been work craziness the last couple months for me. Oh, I never really did explain fully works security policy stuff that we were fixing. We had to rewrite everything, port all 300 applications. Yeah, 300 applications that we had built. We had to port them all to our new framework. The framework has to be custom made by our group as well because why would we trust another company with our own custom framework? And the way they're doing the custom framework is they're not, we're using a node-based framework. And instead of making our custom framework a package, our group has decided, or someone in our group has decided that, nah, instead of making it a proper package-based framework, they've decided to not do that and make it so that every time someone needs to update the framework, they have to go and download the new framework package, which is so annoying. Like, download the whole new framework package. Why the fudge would you not make it a proper package the first time? Why would you make it a download that then you have to like reconfigure every time, make sure nothing breaks? It's so frustrating the way they've done it this way. And they said, on to top it off, they said if you don't like it, you can make it better yourself. Oh yeah, that went over super good with my group. We were pissed because it's like everyone's porting all these applications. No one has time for this, and they know that. That's why they're saying this. They know that no one has time to make it better. Without working extra hours that they probably shouldn't be working. And so yeah, there's yeah, corporate's bad. They expect you to do things, but quote not break the law. So yeah, needless to say, no one's made the package. People have dabbled with maybe making a package out of the framework. I don't know if maybe it is a thing now. Maybe I'm talking smoke in the wind at this point, but I have a feeling it's still been put off. No one's made a package of this officially yet. Um, and yeah, so uh, that's just a programming thing. And the way packages work, right? And this is how Forge and NeoForge work. If you want to update it, you just iterate the version, hit rebuild, and it pulls in all the new information, which is easy, like super simple. Yet the way they were having us do it is download this file, unzip the file, replace certain files that have changed, and oh yeah, we will mostly tell you what's changed, but sometimes we'll forget and not tell you what's changed, and so it breaks your whole app. Let's just say I've dedicated probably a week of time to updating a handful of apps. A handful of apps with this process. Not to mention that at the early stages of the framework, our support team who sets up new projects, they struggled setting up new projects to the point where it took like a week and a half to a month to set up a new project. This was not just support's issue or the framework team's issue. This was also we were dealing with other security groups within the company that were making it so we couldn't make redirect links within a reasonable time frame. We actually got to the point where we're just like, we will make basically everything you guys need for a redirect link outside of like approving of the redirect link effectively. We got our process down to like a week basically per project, new project setup. Every time we port an app, it has to be a new project effectively for the new system. So yeah, 300 new applications, 300 weeks of requests for the support group. So yeah, they're doing 6 a week on average between what the 4-6 people in the support group. So one per person per week should be easy enough. On top of all their other support tasks, which with ever importing, they're asking for requests for all sorts of different things. New DLU links, access, new security access to certain servers, because we're pulling data from all sorts of places, right, for our applications. So, and then all the new security practices as well, making sure no one can access super admin stuff without having their own permission, and this includes the support team. So, yeah, just chaos. Chaos has been the last year, basically, of my life at work. And in some way, I'm glad I don't work for them anymore because I have found out in the last 5 years that programming is fun when it's enjoyable, and when you do it as a job, it is no longer fun. Just straight up for me, I no longer enjoy programming as a job. I enjoy it for fun. Modding can be fun, but it is no longer fun if you're doing it for money. If you're doing it for the sheer fact of, I want to make something that improves my game experience, that's fine. But if I'm doing it for the monies, it's no longer fun for me. And YouTube actually gets to that point as well. If I'm doing YouTube or streaming for the money, if I focus on the money aspect of things, it literally kills it for me. My motivation just tanks. Like I just can't do it as a job. But doing it for fun is enjoyable and fun, right? But yeah. So that's kind of been my life and work explained. Not to get anyone down or anything. If anyone knows of a remote development job that I could do, web development or otherwise, I actually found like a data scientist job out there. They were looking for a senior data analyst that knew basically how to do full stack development is what they were looking for. But they labeled it as a senior data analyst, and I'm just like going, sure. But they were paying like $120,000 a year or something for it. So I'm like, I applied for that. But if anyone knows of anything similar, programming for remote work type stuff, let me know in the comments below, or better yet, hit me up on Discord, or if not on Discord, you can hit me up at my email, mowmaster@outlook.com. Send me an email with, new job proposal or something, and I'll take a look at it, because I'm always looking for remote work jobs. It's always been nice. But if I have to go out, I've basically been trying to search for jobs within my area. I have management experience, so I've been looking for management jobs. I have some warehouse experience. I have food experience. I've been a dietary assistant before, so I've done some cooking, some meal planning. I've delivered pizzas before. Yeah, I've done kind of the lower man on the totem pole tasks as well. I've been a dishwasher before. I've even done some agricultural work as well, so I did see some ag jobs in my area because I do live in a rural area. and I applied for those as well. So I've kind of applied for kind of everything in my area. I'm gonna probably make some calls this week, just see if anyone can get back to me, even if it's just like a simple like minimum wage or $15 or $20 an hour type job. That'll keep me floating for just a little bit longer. I can't work for some companies in my area that I know have been looking for help for the last 2 years. Like they're always looking for help, and I think it's because the work's really hard work, but it's work that I'm used to, and so I'm not opposed to doing it. Basically, um, but I can't work for them because I've signed an agreement that says gay for stupid NDAs. The NDA did give me a severance check of like a lot of money, so I'm not gonna not sign it because I needed the money. But yeah, I signed my soul away for the next 6 months to a year, and I can't work for certain companies, which sucks honestly. But it is what it is, and I'll bide my time with a different job until then. And once I can get a better job, then all will be good in the world again. But yeah, until then, like I said, if you guys have any job ideas, you can throw them in the comments or email me or Discord me, DMs or whatnot. And yeah, until then, I'll be doing some job searching. So I'll try to get videos out Monday, Wednesday, Friday of the weeks, maybe on the weekends if we have extra stuff going on. But that's kind of the plan going forward until I do have some full time work that keeps me preoccupied. And even then, I'll still try to get stuff done because I can always record episodes on the weekend and then do stuff as well. And hell, maybe have stories for my new job. Who knows? We'll see. Maybe we'll take multiple jobs. Maybe we'll have all sorts of fun with this. My last resort is like Subway in my area, Pizza Hut in my area, Runs in my area. Oh, that just tells you what state I live in. That's fine. Those three fast food joints, even like a gas station in my area, they're all looking for like regular workers. And I'm like, if I could pick up part time or full time jobs with those areas, because they're easy, mindless jobs, really, I could do like a couple of full time or a few part time jobs with those companies, and I could probably get a decent income that way, working my ass off for pennies, effectively. But if worst comes to worst, that's my plan. But yeah, I'm gonna do some calls this week, see if I can get like a banker job or something. We'll see. But yeah, till next time, folks. Thank you all for stopping by, hanging out. We'll see you in the next one. What will we talk about? I don't know. I already talked about my life. We've talked about pedestal stuff. What's next? I don't know. We'll see. See you in the next one. Have a good day. Bye bye.